our guy Childish Gambino. Someone that is just totally dominating the culture game right now. You know, Atlanta hit show and syndication.
Syndication.
He dropped.
What are you talking about?
Not syndication. Right. I was like thinking about that. I was like, I don't think that made sense. Wait a second. Hit show with a lot of critical acclaim was what I was really going for. He released Redbone, which got a lot of love. His Grammy nomination,
top 10 hit, I think.
A lot of critical acclaim. And I mean, he's been around for a good part of at least a decade now.
Correct? In his 30s.
Yeah, so he's beloved in culture right now. Guy couldn't be hotter. He's going to be Lando Calrissian in Solo. And he dropped on SNL 2 new songs. He hosted and performed as Childish Gambino this week. This Is America, which had a music video directed by Hiro Murai, who, I mean, if we want to talk about heaters, that guy's on a goddamn heater right now.
For sure.
But Saturday as well, which was a pretty fun song. Gambino's retiring after his next album. That's what he said publicly. I think both of us are a little unsure if that means that Donald Glover as a musical artist is done. But
correct.
What was your take on these songs, and what do you expect from a new Gambino project?
Yeah, no, I think it perhaps marks a new shift for him musically. It's tough to say, but I think you could probably easily say that Awaken My Love, his most recent album from December 2016, was probably the self-loving one-off experiment in terms of the R&B funk love that the album was. I think that was very much just what he felt like doing and making, right? Like a homage album, because what these new songs are not that. And what they are, though, I think, especially This Is America, it's, actually it's like incredible commentary on like police brutality and gun violence and stuff like that, and done in like a unique way in terms of how it's playing off like the emotions of the way he's performing it. I think it's a really impressive song, and especially from a guy who's evolved from some pretty corny lows in his music career. He's really come a long way, and especially in hip hop, I was very impressed with just him being able to put this into a song that's actually good, because I feel like his ambition and his creativity has always been there, but in the past his execution has been weak. So I'm happy to see this being awesome, because musically he hasn't been more popular musically than now, so I'm happy he's continuing to actually nail it.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about with Kanye's status dropping a bit socially, that Donald Glover might be the person that can step in and take that creative place in the culture. And this song, I mean, with the music video, like you were talking about, is so well done, so thoughtful, and such a commentary on, I think, not only living in America, but being Black in America and what it means to be in America. So there's a lot of really great things behind it. And I think, Saturday wasn't necessarily a song that impressed me that much, but I think just the way Donald Glover chooses to continue to search for new sounds and not just like rest on his laurels is really really worth noting, especially because like he started his monologue with SNL. I don't know if you watched it, but he basically was like, I'm Donald Glover, I'm going to be in the new Star Wars movie, and I was on the show called Community, and if you're Black, I made Redbone in Atlanta. And I was like, it's like a perfect way. It's almost like he's embracing his own self at this point. So definitely really exciting to be following that. Now, in terms of the Donald Glover project, I mean, do you think this would be his last one as Childish Gambino, or just his last music project in general, or do you think it's actually going to be his last one?
I can't see him abandoning music for good, just because there are only so many outlets for him to be creative. TV's movies and music are his main things. Maybe he'll do some theater from time to time. That's the acting realm, I think music will always be an outlet for him, but I think, as we said before, when he mentioned that he would retire the name, and back then it sounded like he would just stop. Perhaps he'll just, go long stretches like a Justin Timberlake and just not really be musically involved for a long time. But he did just get that new deal for his music, so we'll see. Yeah, to your point about Saturday, I would like to hear what that sounds like as a studio recording, before
Yeah.
judging it. But I did agree I was not as high on that as This Is America. Um, but yeah, I mean, his career is really interesting, and I recommend the New Yorker profile that dropped back when Atlanta season 2 started. It's a really long read, but really gets into how he's kind of in his own head about the love people have for his creativity and his genius, and it's especially interesting in terms of how he's said by Black culture and white culture. So he's a fascinating figure, but he's also definitely the creative we need right now when the guy who used to be in this mold has been having some tour meltdowns. So very excited for what he has next. And of course, I'm sure he'll be great in solo, and he'll be in Simba or Lion King as the voice of Simba next year. So great future to the surprise of absolutely nobody.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And, I mentioned Hiro Murai before. If you haven't been paying attention, this dude directed 7 episodes of Atlanta, one of the most well-received shows on television, not in syndication yet, though. He directed episode 6 of Legion, which was absolutely fantastic, and we'll probably be mentioning as when we do our recap of the season. And he also directed 2 episodes of Barry this season, and one of them had probably one of the coolest shots of the season with I think he directed the one where they were like driving up with like the music blaring and the gunshots come through the car. Just incredible filmmaking. And I mean, this music video is a testament as well to his skill.
I mean, those 3 shows you mentioned, those are probably the 3 best American made shows that are on right now.
Yep.
And he's had a part in all of them. Yeah. He was someone I was not really familiar with because up until he started working with Glover, he was a music video guy. Mm-hmm. So, quite the meteoric rise for him as well. I'm sure he's turning down offers left and right at this point.
Yeah. Oh, I can only imagine.